Hi, I'm Joni Patry, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Well, today I want to talk about the last week in September, which I have been preparing everyone for quite a while. This is the week that everything should be happening. Astrologically, the aspects are intense. And generally, when you get an array of aspects all occurring at the same time, there are events that occur. So let me fill you in. And remember, if you want all of these transcripts, everything written out that I'm talking about, sent to your email address, absolutely free. Sign up for my free newsletter. Go to galacticcenter.org. And while you're there, remember to check out all the classes and opportunities that I have going on there. So I have my shooting stars. If you want to come together and explore how to empower each other spiritually, that's what that class is all about. Go to Shooting Stars. Plus, don't forget I have an online magazine, monthly magazine with amazing articles about spirituality and astrology. Joni Patry's Astrology Insights. So with that, that's all at galacticcenter.org. And if this inspires you to learn Vedic astrology, check out my university, all online. You can start anytime. University of Vedicastrology.com. So now let's get going, starting with September 22nd. This is the day that the moon will move into Sagittarius. And as it does, right as it shifts in, and that will be about 5:30 a.m. Central Time, the moon will be Gandanta, moving from 29 Scorpio into 0 of Sagittarius, which is the nakshatra Mula, by 5:30 a.m. by the time we get up here. It's going to be in this nakshatra that can deal with great destruction sometimes. It gives a feeling of letting go, having to let go, but things will be starting to be stirred up a lot with this moon being in Sagittarius. Remember, Sagittarius is the sign of finding truth. It's the sign of the law, finding laws and truth. So while the moon is transiting into Sagittarius, people will be uneasy. People will be feeling a certain degree of anger about things. Hostility is going to fill the air. This is a nakshatra that fights back, that feels the need to disrupt things. Mula is ruled by Ketu, so there is a sense of loss that fills the air. So there could be bad weather certain places, earth changes, and remember there can be some blow-ups, but these are totally unexpected. So September 23rd, this is the day I put a red alert, because September 23rd as well as the 24th. This is where the hard aspects are occurring. September 23rd is right before these aspects are applying. Sometimes they happen right before they hit dead on the 24th. But on the 23rd, I call this a critical day. The moon will be in Sagittarius, but it will move into the nakshatra Purva Ashada. And Purva Ashada is the nakshatra of finding truth. It will be where Jupiter will be casting a trine to the moon. This is a very positive aspect on some level. So I get that change is inevitable, and eventually this change will open the door for a new world, and we need this. But I will say this, Mars is in a square to the moon. That's critical, that's frustrating, that's difficult. So much is being revealed today. The world is in a place of insecurity. There's social unrest. Governments around the world are in an uproar. Things are affecting the leaders. This could even be some kind of attack or a big blow up somewhere. People are beginning to fight back. People are ready to take the control in their own hands, because what they've been seeing, what they've had happen, they feel is unjust, and they're ready to take on their own control. So this is a very critical day. Expect the unexpected. Things will occur. The world is changing dramatically. Everyone feels it. The people are taking back their power, and they need to. The world will change forever at this time. Be very cautious. September 24th, this is the day that the aspects actually occur. But as I said, many times things happen right before their exact effect occurs, because on September 24th, the sun is at 7 degrees of Virgo, exactly aspecting Saturn at 7 degrees of Aquarius. And as I said before, a lot is going on concerning the chart that I use for the United States. Transiting Mars is situated on the USA Saturn in the 10th house. There's something going on in the government. There's something really big happening with the president, and it looks very difficult. People are on red alert today. The moon is still in Capricorn. It has moved into Capricorn out of Sagittarius, but it is in the nakshatra called Uttara Ashada, another truth-finding nakshatra. So the truth has to come out. The moon, while it is here, will conjunct Pluto, which Pluto is a planet of major transformational changes. This is on an emotional level. So this is a day where I've been talking about, this is the time. And maybe it's not necessarily just only this day. It's a whole time period towards the last week of September, where Saturn is now slowing down. It's going to go retrograde in in November. But right now, as it's slowing down, it is conjunct the USA moon. So there is a big crisis. The USA is under alert with Saudi Sati. Everything is going to change. And I think something big could happen today. Mark my words, there's something going on. Even if it doesn't happen today, let me just say this, there are undercurrents that are happening that are going to affect our future profoundly. September 25th, Jupiter is in a trine to Mercury, which, after so much happening the previous 2 days, this may give a little silver lining and some hope. Mercury is, let me remind everyone, no longer retrograde, so things are starting to move forward. Answers are starting to come. And the moon, being in Capricorn, is in the nakshatra called Shravana. Shravana's nakshatra symbol is the ear, so therefore it's a time to listen, take note of what's happening, because everything happens for a reason, and everything is turning a whole nother direction. And I think this is going to be a day where we start, because of previous events, to have vision and to have clarity. And it's time to face the truth, because the truth is always giving us freedom and what heals. So there's positive action that people will come together because of the events that are occurring to make the world a better future. September 26th, the moon sits in Aquarius, and it's in the nakshatra Dhanishta. Dhanishta is ruled by Mars, so this is an intense nakshatra. And as the moon is here in Aquarius, it's going to conjunct Saturn but at the same time, K2 is in a trine to this moon. So K2 trining the moon conjunct Saturn in Aquarius. There is lots that needs to change concerning humanity. People see it, they recognize it, the change is inevitable. And this is a somber day. I have to say, things are awakening, but it doesn't look easy. This looks like a day that could be very heavy and oppressive, because Saturn is that oppressive energy. So there's an awakening. And this may not be a pleasant awakening, but this will involve many changes that are affecting many governments. September 27th, the moon is in Aquarius, but it moves into the nakshatra called Shatabishak. And that one is called, some people call it Shatabisha, I call it Shatabishak, but it is opposed Mercury. And this is a time when people are overthinking things. People can't, their mind is on overdrive, trying to come up with solutions, because this moon is actually opposed Mercury, but it's in a quincunx to Mars. This is very difficult. The answers are coming, but they're hard to implement and hard to do. There's so much red tape, there's so much going on, and we can't get things moving as fast as we should to get things healed and over the top. Many things have been repressed from us, and now the people are speaking out against the governments around the world. We need the truth, and people know the truth by now. This involves major repercussions on governments, secrets, and I always think in terms of this could even have something to do with secrets that have been surrounding the repression of alien contact. But I'll tell you another thing that this does involve. In a positive light, so much has been repressed about health and healing, and now we're starting to understand the truth around the healing and medical cures that maybe have been repressed for a long time. This is the time that we need to address the greed and corruption that have been holding back the truths that we all need in the world today. September 28th, Uranus is squaring Venus, so there's some kind of disruption in the area of relating to people peacefully, calmly, and our relationships could be under high pressure and stress, react with kindness. And the moon is in Pisces. The moon moves into Pisces. It will be in the nakshatra Purva Bhadrapada. And this is a nakshatra of the deep. And part of it will be when it's in Pisces. Well, it will be, the moon is in Pisces in Purva Bhadrapada. This is a nakshatra that can deal with people with two faces. So don't trust everything you see coming at you. You'll sense it, you'll know it. You'll know when people are two-faced, and it's coming at you today. Because not only is the moon in Purva Bhadrapada, but it is conjunct Neptune, which deals with deception, deceit, and denial. So don't trust people today. Be cautious. And what you're seeing out there in the news, be very cautious as well, because I don't think we can trust what we're hearing today. There is a need for more peace. People need to start moving towards compromise. Nothing is black and white. We have a long way to go. Yes, be aware of what is coming at you, and be aware that when you have that gut knowing that things aren't right, guess what? Trust it and know it, you are right. But this is almost the full moon, almost. So things are coming out, things are being brought to the surface, and we're more aware. September 29th, this is the full moon. The full moon occurs at 12 degrees of Pisces, and this full moon will occur at 4:59 a.m. Central Time Zone. And while we have this beautiful bright full moon, which is going to be in Pisces while the sun is in Virgo, it is opposed Mars. Mars is still in Virgo. So there is a certain degree of anger in what is being brought to light in this full moon. And the moon is going to be in Uttara Bhadrapada. This particular nakshatra in Pisces deals with the deep, the things that are being uncovered from the deep. It's dark, it's deep. It's unbelievable what is coming out today. But I do want you to be aware that, yes, it's hard to find the truth. People are not being real today, so be aware of what's happening. So this full moon will bring light, will shed light on all of the inconsistencies of how we've been lied to, especially dealing with things with health and healing, with the virus, what happened before, and most of all, some of the cures that are probably coming out now. They have to come out, but the greed has definitely been repressing this because some of these cures to many things may not be in the best interest to the pharmaceuticals. But trust me, there's going to be a major healing coming out for many diseases. New discoveries and healings are coming out with this full moon while it sits in Pisces. September 30th, we have the moon will be Gandanta again because this moon is moving out of Pisces, the very last degree of the zodiac, and into the first degrees of Aries. So this will happen where the moon is Gandanta today, and it moves into Aries around 11 a.m. Central Time that the moon shifts. And when it does, it's going to shift into the nakshatra Ashwini, which does deal a lot with healing, moving fast action. We're on the other side of the full moon, so it's starting to wane, but it's still very bright. And with this, the moon will cross over Rahu, and it is Gandanta. People will be out of control. People will be moving fast. People will be confused as to what to do. There is a deep sense of extremes with the moon Rahu. Rahu expands things, so emotionally people will be out of control somewhat. This is an interesting time in humanity as people are evolving and growing and expanding and taking control back into their own hands. But this does not create a peaceful, mild event. Things are moving fast, things are changing, and people are changing their concepts about the world and everything around them. We have one more very difficult aspect, and it's Mars will be in a quincunx with Uranus. Uranus is sudden, unexpected events, and Mars can be violence, and Mars can be angry, attacks. So a sudden attack on some level is what's happening right now. And let me just say that the moon will be in Aries, and Aries is very aggressive and direct, moving forward, the pioneer, I should say as well. And it's in the nakshatra Bharani, which deals with sudden breakthroughs, sudden events. So Bharani is a very difficult nakshatra. It deals with explosions. It deals with new births. It deals with breakthroughs. So things are really happening on a fast pace now. Major breakthroughs, upsets, and maybe attacks. The moon in Aries, while it's in Bharani, will first cross over Jupiter, which can be enlightening, which can be expansive. Good things are happening, but in a very explosive, fast, and unexpected way. And another thing is nothing appears the way it truly is. But you definitely have a sense about that. You can feel it, you sense it, you know it. You don't need to be told any more lies. We have the truth. And the global world is a reflection that tells us the truth. So with that, I think I'll close. This concludes the month of September. A lot we're being faced with, a lot is coming down, but ultimately we got to go through the fire to get to the other side. So the rest of this year, look out. Things are critical, but this month set the stage. It's here. So with that, I'll close. But remember, if you want all of these written transcripts, go to my website, galacticcenter.org. Sign up for my free newsletter, check out my magazine, and most of all, shooting stars. If you want to be part of a group that is all about higher consciousness, join our group, be a part of it. Thank you.